Peter Crawford, the bullied teenager on the Phillip Lang who lashed out but survived to become a successful farmer in Otago. The Crawfords were tenant farmers here at Hillyland in Tibbymore Parish back in the early 1840s. This land belonged to the Earl of Kinnoul, who was the Lord Lieutenant of Perthshire. The family consisted of George, who was originally from Glasgow, his wife Margaret Lorimer, and their children Anne, Isabella and Peter, as well as Margaret's sister, Anne Lorimer. In November 1847, the whole group sailed for Otago on the Phillip Lang. George and Margaret Crawford were actually too old to qualify for the free passages that took them to Otago, even though they dropped their ages considerably, according to the surviving passenger list. They may even have been the oldest passengers on board at 52 and 56 respectively. But the Otago Association had only a limited time to fill the ship, and the Crawfords had young adult children and were free church people, so they were accepted as pioneers in the first party. It was the Crawfords' teenage son, 16-year-old Peter, who made the biggest splash during the voyage to Otago. Bullied repeatedly by one of the sailors, young Peter finally lashed out at his tormentor with a knife. Now, fortunately, no harm was actually done, but he then faced formal discipline from the Reverend Thomas Burns. As a punishment, he had his head shaved and was put on ship cleaning duties for 2 weeks. But when Peter's tormentor then crowed in triumph, the minister turned on him in fury and gave the sailor such a tongue lashing that it made a lasting impression on all who witnessed it. Peter Crawford made good in the colony, however. After a due period labouring for other people, he took up land here at Green Island, just above the road out to Brighton, and he called his farm Viewfield. His sister Anne, meanwhile, married an Irish sailor off the Phillip Lang called William Walsh, and they took up the adjacent farm. This powder horn is a relic of Dunedin's earliest days, made by the Crawfords from the horn of a steer bred by George. It demonstrates the ingenuity required from the pioneers in making tools like this from whatever was available to them. The senior Crawfords lived on a hillside above central Dunedin, and according to family legend, Crawford Street down here in the flat is actually named after George. But he seems to become a victim of the township's polluted waterways, one unfortunate consequence of the booming population of the gold rush era. He died of typhoid in 1863. Margaret died a few years later, aged 76. They're buried here in this grave in Dunedin's Southern Cemetery, along with Peter and his family. And in 2004, grateful descendants marked the spot with this new plaque, which captures the essence of the Scottish immigrants' legacy. For as it says, they left their country to give us ours.